Okay, I am recording this literally at the last minute. Um, but welcome to NCL season 15, week one. This is my team builder. Trying to keep myself accountable for actually team building every week, even though I really don't have a lot of time to do that. Before I start, thank you to Ian and Gareth for helping me build. Um, I imagine that's going to be a trend. Um, but yeah, so let's start real quick. Um, First of all, we're bringing Palafin. Whole draft was kind of centered around Palafin. Um, you know, kind of bringing it to every game. It's probably expected. I'm not necessarily saying that will happen, but it might. Bring Jet Punch, Flip Turn, Ice Punch, and Close Combat. Ice Punch is really just to try and catch in the Giratina that is likely to switch in on Palafin. Um, but yeah, I guess I should state this is my opponent's team. They have Giratina Origin, Iron Boulder, Hisuian Samurott, Pheasantipede, Mega Pinsir, Tauros, Magnezone, Donphan, Sky Shaman, Ursaring, and Cradilly. Um, One of the biggest reasons why I am bringing close combat on Palafin is because of things like Cradilly. Uh, really need to be able to hit that Pokemon, as well as things like Magnezone, as another example, Hisuian Samurott, um, Tauros to some extent, Ursaring as well. Fighting in general is just really good coverage against my opponent's team. Um, so yeah, Flip Turn for momentum, Ice Punch to catch Giratina that is probably switching in on Palafin, and then Jet Punch over Wave Crash because they have a lot of speedy Pokemon like Shaman and speed boosting Iron Boulder, any Scarfers. Um, so yeah, that's the Palafin bringing the Choice Band. Gonna be hitting as hard as possible. Hoping that Bubble Man can make his debut and draw us two cards. Um, then next we have the dynamic duo of Sparkman and Clayman. Didn't think I would bring Sand this early into the season, but offensively, I think it looks really good into my opponent's team. He doesn't really have a lot of good electric switch ins other than like Magnezone and Dawn fans specifically. Pretty much everything else takes neutral or super effective damage from um, electric. Cradilly could come up. Uh, Cardilli is probably like a niche pick against my team that will probably be good. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come. Admittedly, that's not exactly what I prepped around. If Cradilli does come, then I'll just have to prioritize killing that before Dracozolt kind of gets rocking and rolling. But yeah, Bolt Beak, Dragon Claw, just the dual stab with EQ and Rock Slide is the plan. EQ to catch Magnezone, Rock Slide to catch Skyman. Um, so yeah, I just think probably late game this is going to be a really good sweeper. Unfortunately, it is slower than speed boosting Iron Boulder and Scarf Shaman. Not really a lot that I can do about that. I ended up creeping. I think it was Scarf Hisuian Samurott uh, with that's after Sand Rush boost. Um, but yeah, so Sparkman. Then we have Clayman. I have Whirlwind on this right now. It's more than likely going to change to Toxic, just based off of what Ian just sent in the team building chat. Um, but yeah, so Earthquake just because I don't want this to be four non-attacking moves: Slack Off to Recover, Stealth Rock, and then more than likely Toxic instead of Whirlwind. Um, in general, my team really doesn't have a lot of switch-ins to Giratina. I was really hoping that King Gambit would be able to do that, but unfortunately, Giratina gets Aura Sphere. Um, and honestly, it's pretty much a toss-up um, whether or not Giratina is going to be physical or special. Um, it kind of gets coverage for both Diancie and King Gambit, depending on and like what set. No matter if it's physical or special, it gets coverage to hit one of these times four and the other one for super effective. So it was just really hard to find a switch into this. I'm hoping that it's going to be special Giratina, which is why I'm bringing especially defensive Hippowdon because it kind of chews its coverage moves really well. It does take a lot from Draco Meteor, but there's really nothing that I can do about that. Um, but yeah, here to set the sand, give DNC a special defense boost, and get Sparkman his double speed. Um, Next, we have what I think is probably the most underrated Pokemon on my team, Mega Sceptile. Just looking in calcs, this thing does a lot of damage. I mean, it raw Oko's Iron Boulder, Hisuian Samurott. It raw Oko's Magnezone with Earthquake. It raw Oko's Donphan with Giga Drain. Um, in general, like Sceptile kind of does a lot offensively, and it's really, really fast. Um, so I was able to creep Skyman, as well as put a lot of points into its physical attack because we are bringing a mixed set. Um, Dual stab, like I said, Giga Drain one shots a lot of the Pokemon on his team. Dragon Pulses for that Giratina coverage, Earthquake for that Magnezone, and Rock Slide for the Skyman, as well as the Mega Pinsir. Um, I haven't talked too much about Mega Pinsir thus far. I really don't have a lot of switch ins to it in general, so I kind of just have to hope that I can revenge it with stuff like Mega Sceptile. Um, but yeah, so that's the Mega Sceptile set. It's pretty weird, not something that I would typically do with a Pokemon, but I think it makes a lot of sense in this matchup. And it could become a demon for my Pokemon very quickly, or for my opponent very quickly. Next, we have Physically Defensive Deancey. This is the Mega Pinsir answer. Another critical thing you're going to see across the team is that my opponent has Hisuian Samurott and I don't have any removal. It's mainly because I honestly think Tornadus Therian's matchup is just not very good with things like Iron Boulder and Magnezone being on my opponent's team. It really doesn't switch into anything effectively either. Mega Pinsir two shots it. Um, just in general, it doesn't seem like it's a great Pokemon to bring this week, which is, I believe that's pretty much all of my removal. So yeah, we need to definitely play around that, and that's why I'm trying to bring the heavy duty boots on DNC so that it can reliably switch in on Pinsir no matter what. Bringing that physically defensive set. EVs are a little weird. We are creeping, I believe it was no speed Donphan. Um, just in case, we end up in a situation where I need DNC to be faster than Donphan instead of looking for a speed tie. So yeah, Moonblast to try to, kill like Giratina, Hisuian Samurott. Just a general spikes. I already have Stealth Rock on Clayman, so I didn't really want to bring Stealth Rock on Sphene. So I thought spikes would be fine. Diamond Storm for things like Mega Pinsir, Skyman, things like that, and just Body Press for in general is not bad. Actually does more damage than either of DNC's stabs on Iron Boulder. I have a lot of opinions about Body Press and how I think this has really warped. Like, I think Body Press has really warped the competitive Pokemon scene around defensive Pokemon. I really do not like Body Press on like a design level. I think it was a huge mistake from Pokemon, but yeah, this move is broken and probably going to be on DNC a lot. And last but not least is King Gambit. Uh, Honestly, I was pretty locked on these five. I wasn't super sold on King Gambit, but Ian convinced me that it should come, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pretty standard goofy ass King Gambit move spread with triple Dark Move plus Iron Head. Um, all these moves have merit. I mean, Kowtow Cleave is just really strong. Knockoff gets rid of items. Sucker Punch is priority, and Iron Head is just another stab. Bringing the Chople Berry, trying to catch that Giratina. Um, really worried about that Pokemon, to be honest with you. And we are speed creeping. I believe it was no speed Magnezone. Um, Also need to be really careful that I play around Magnet Pull with King Gambit. I really don't want to Terra King Gambit this week. I really don't know what Pokemon I'm probably clicking Terra on. It's more than likely going to be Palafin or Sparkman. Um, but King Gambit is not the one that I want to click Terra on. So I definitely need to make sure that I play around Magnet Pull, Magnezone. Otherwise, I'm just going to get stuck in there and die. But yeah, that is the team. I did prep. I did my best, and Ian and Gareth helped a lot as usual. So yeah, hopefully we come out of week one with a dub, and we start the season off strong. I appreciate y'all watching and keeping me accountable. And I will see you all next Tuesday for the next team builder. I will be posting a battle video on Friday after we battle. So be on the lookout for that too. Bye.